Hello and welcome to the learning series, Care Interventions for People Living with Dementia During the COVID-19 Pandemic, presented by the Federation of Quebec Alzheimer's Society. My name is Diane Lozon, and I'm a family counselor and certified trainer at the Alzheimer's Society Laval, and I will have the pleasure of presenting this capsule, Communication Strategies to Build a Connection with People Living with Alzheimer's Disease. The quality of life of people living with dementia is greatly influenced by the quality of their interactions with others. The evolution of the illness disrupts the process of transmission and reception of information, changing not only the person's ability to talk and listen, but also to understand and interpret messages. This, however, does not lessen the person's need or desire to communicate. The need for love, affection, and to stay connected through relationships and meaningful communication remains present. The person-centered approach views the individual affected by the illness first and foremost as a person with unique attributes, personal values, and history. The success of this approach is based on learning about dementia, its progression, and how it affects individuals. For example, avoiding certain communication pitfalls like arguing with the person instead of just letting it go, or asking questions to test the person's short-term memory instead of simply providing the information. Believe that communication is possible at all stages of the illness, and this despite and beyond the person's impairment. Focusing on the individual's abilities and lifelong skills by putting forth their best attributes to reinforce empowerment, self-esteem, confidence, and well-being. Reassuring the person and being positive by encouraging communication in whichever way works best, by being creative, having fun, using humor. Meeting people where they are and accepting their new reality, leaving behind our usual references and perceptions, because our challenge is to respect their pace, dignity, and reality. Persons living with this disorder may sometimes behave in ways that may appear odd. This is because they're trying to communicate what they are unable to say. With the progression of the illness, they rely increasingly on body language to express their needs, wishes, and feelings. For this reason, to achieve communication, we must use verbal and nonverbal strategies. So here are some basic communication techniques. Announce your arrival. To gain attention, make some noise, sing or hum. Advance slowly as you enter the room. Name the person and introduce yourself. Approach the person from the front. Sensory impairment, such as vision and perception shifts, can cause tunnel vision, preventing the person from seeing you approach and may get startled. Maintain eye contact. Smile, your energy is contagious. Gently touch the hand or the arm. Help the person focus. Establish a connection before speaking. If the person is not fully present to listen, don't force her to respond. Wait a few seconds and try again. Limit distractions. Turn down the volume of the radio or television. Watch out for distractions in the hallway. If possible, sit down face to face in a quiet, calm place to talk. Speak clearly and slowly. Use simple, familiar words, short sentences. Respect the pace of the person. It can take a little more time to process the information, so give the person more time to respond. If the person doesn't answer, wait a moment and repeat the question with the same words. Ask yes/no questions, or give a simple choice instead of open-ended questions. Are you tired? Instead of how do you feel? Would you like to come for a walk or watch TV? instead of what would you like to do? Support your words with actions. Reinforce your message by using nonverbal cues such as facial expressions, eye contact, and voice tone to emphasize feelings and emotions. Mimic movements to help the person remember how it's done. Use posture to express your interest. Gesture to point and show what you mean. And touch to convey comfort. If you don't understand the person's message, try guessing. Ask them to point or gesture. Remember to focus more on the person's body language and emotions than the spoken words. There are 6 adapted approaches, 3 that I'm going to present right now, and 3 others that are addressed in the capsule, adapted communication approaches. These strategies can be combined together, and having some knowledge of the person's personal history is very helpful, if not essential. So we're going to look at diversion, reminiscence, and compassionate touch. Diversion. The objective is to alter the person's train of thought and dispel persistent and anxiety-producing ideas. So we're going to divert the person's attention away from an issue that is perceived as unpleasant. How to do it? We're going to recall one of the person's positive and meaningful past events or experiences, or we can propose a meaningful and repetitive activity. Remember that personal and significant memories remain accessible for a long time. So if we look at this example, Mrs. Jones has been asking you the same question for the past 20 minutes. When will my son John come to pick me up? So a possible answer would be, I get the feeling that you miss your son John very much. Would you like to talk to me? Would you like to talk to me about him in the sitting room? So here we combine 2 strategies. We recognize your feelings through validation, where more information is provided in the adapted communication approaches capsule. Then used diversion by reminding her of a happy event or experience with her son. Once in the sitting room, we can also divert her attention to socializing with other people there, watching TV, listening to music, or perhaps even having a snack. Be creative. Play some personalized music. Look at a photo frame together, or put a ball of yarn in her hands, for example, if knitting is something she enjoyed. You can also keep her mind busy with a repetitive activity. Request her help with a domestic task or in the preparation for an upcoming activity. Also encourage, appreciate, and compliment her. That's a great job, Mrs. Jones. Thank you for your help. Avoid arguing or trying to reason with her, like saying that her son is not coming. Avoid telling her in advance about visits and appointments, since this may create anxiety given that the notion of time is impaired. Reminiscence. It's to help the person maintain a sense of connectedness to self, live pleasant moments, and improve self-esteem. We're going to call upon the person's long-term memory. So we'll use it by recalling the person's positive and meaningful past memories. We'll use elements of the person's personal history to bring up in a conversation. Every interaction is an opportunity to bond with the person and experience positive emotions. Keep in mind that it's more about the positive emotions that they generate than the element itself, because the effective memory remains very strong. So in this example, it's time for Mrs. Jones to bathe, but she has categorically refused to do so for several days. She can only answer with yes or no. So we'll set everything up for the bath. Water, soap, towel, pajamas, calm music, and so on. We'll create a safe and trusting environment to reassure her. We'll lead her gently towards the bathroom while recalling a positive and meaningful beach memory, for instance. Come with me, Mrs. Jones. I have something to show you. Develop the subject. Talk about the water, the location. Be creative by using different sensory elements to help revive the memories. Play her favorite music. Sing or hum a tune. Music and melodies are stored in a part of the brain unaffected by the disease, therefore, a great way to connect. Have her touch the warm water, sway the washcloth through the waves. Have fun, smell the soap, the bath foam, or perfume, which in turn could trigger other significant memories. You could combine this with diversion by proposing familiar and repetitive activity to keep her mind occupied, such as requesting her help to wash herself. Always support your words with actions. Use the watch me technique to show her how it's done. If this approach doesn't work, try again later or at some other time. Consider a sponge bath. More information is provided in the personal care capsule. Next, compassionate touch. The objective is to communicate compassion, comfort, tenderness, and support. We rely on emotional memory, so emotions and ambiance. We use it by focusing on nonverbal communication between two people that is established through physical touch with or without words. Remember that the more serious cognitive losses are, the more compassionate touch becomes an important communication tool. So the example, Mrs. Jones has to take her medication, but as soon as she sees you approaching, she tries to leave the room. A warm smile and a gentle touch convey a message just as verbal cues, hand gestures to indicate to come and where to sit. Express agreement by nodding yes with your head. Initiate a conversation using something meaningful and comforting to her, like a picture, a blanket, sweater, or a shawl that you could wrap around her shoulders. Touch her hand or her shoulder while looking at the photo album. Or you can just hold her hands and massage them is another example. That's it. Thank you very much for your time. You can get more information by contacting the Alzheimer's Society in your region. There are 20 throughout Quebec. For more information, you can also visit the website alzheimerquebec.ca or write to info@alzheimerquebec.ca. Thank you very much.